everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. As we head towards kickoff, two quarterbacks will be on the field today trying to push their team to victory. It's the Seahawks going up against the Buccaneers. With that, let's get out to Raymond James Stadium. Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, we are at a site that's played host to 2 Super Bowls, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Tonight, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Shift together here from the D-line. And right away, whistles and a flag down. And I believe we'll start the night with a 1st and 15. Winston gives to the tailback, Martin. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. He'll get 3 of those penalty yards back here, leaving him with a 2nd and 12. And one advantage for this offensive unit is the big target, Mike Evans.
Play to his strength, his size and catch radius. Throw it up there, let him go get it.
Again, it's Martin. And he roams across the 20 to the 24-yard line. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Here's Winston. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll fake a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side. Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production. And that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
Second down following the run. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. Going for the deep ball. This is caught at the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Paul Richardson, 68 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
So the ball switches back over to Tampa Bay, and as they get set in place on offense, Charles, talk about the running game and the O-line, where they stack up going in next year, because Doug Martin was only active for 8 games this last season. Rushing total dropped down to 400 yards, basically.
Yeah, they were fortunate they picked up Jaquiz Rodgers during the year, and he gave them some nice games throughout, but I start with the offensive line. They've got some good building blocks. Left tackle Donovan Smith, guard Ali Marpet. Great places to begin. I think they'll continue to try and fortify that offensive line because that will help whoever becomes their primary ball carrier. A monster 2016 for Mike Evans. His Buccaneers didn't make the playoffs, but wasn't because of his production. Led the league in targets and was in the top 5 in many other receiving categories. What a big-time year for him.
4th in yards, 2nd in touchdowns, just outside of the top 5, 6th in catches. So he's going to be a handful for teams in the future. I mean, he's got a long career ahead of him.
A long career ahead of him, and look for him to increase his yards after catch as he moves forward in his career.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Earl Thomas is the rangiest free safety in the game. Great reactions, great understanding, and boy, will he strike you when the ball's in his area.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Winston with a give to Martin. And some room to work. The 20. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Doug Martin, 55 yards. And the Bucs are just an extra point away from grabbing the lead now. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And out now come the Seahawks. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Then he hits Jermaine Kearse. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position, because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They come out here in the eye. 1st down, this is Rawls. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. Earlier, partner, when discussing Russell Wilson, you said you think he's best when Seattle is running back centric. Is Thomas Rawls the centerpiece going forward there?
I think so, because of what he did 2 seasons ago before he got hurt. Because he runs that offense the way they want it run. One cut, downhill, get upfield, and Thomas Rawls is perfect for that. If he stays healthy, that allows Russell Wilson now to throw the play action, to bootleg passes that really hurt other teams defensively.
And Rawls has youth on his side, just 23. On the defensive side of the football for the Bucs, here's the lineup. You know, you look at last year, 2016, 23 points a game, right in the middle of the league, but improved, I think. How do they look going forward?
Well, they did improve, and they improved throughout the second half of the year. They focused on communication. They cut down some of the stuff they were doing defensively, made it simpler, and they played a lot faster. Look, Gerald McCoy is a terrific player on the defensive line. You got linebackers that can run in Levante David and Quan Alexander. And I thought that Keith Tandy really emerged as a safety for them down the stretch and made some big-time plays.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. Wilson to give to Rawls. And he's got room. And he cuts it right sideline. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
That looked like a two-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. On first down, Process. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Looking for someone to throw to. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So the incomplete pass brings up second down. Back to the ground attack. It's Rawls. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point of the game.
On third and goal, Wilson. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tanner McAvoy from 6 yards away. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Here's Martin as they begin on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were. We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, That was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player. And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. He's got Evans. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them, don't they?
They get a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if it...
There goes Doug Martin. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Doug Martin with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bucs are just an extra point away from grabbing the lead now. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Rawls, the lone man in the backfield. On 2nd down, Wilson. He's got time in the pocket. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Gerald McCoy able to drop him for a loss of a couple. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Wilson flushed out right. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He gets us away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead. But a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
First down, Winston. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Check 50, check 50. Ready, 125.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. And he comes back with one complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And, Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
They'll run it. Here's Martin. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Winston. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now a second down throw for Winston. It's caught. Humphries. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Winston. And Winston lost the football. But it looks like a Buccaneer was able to corral it. Yes, the Bucs have it. Tampa Bay keeps the possession. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They come out here in the eye. And the big tight end shifting around. They stay on the ground, rolls again. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. Stop made there by Gerald McCoy.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There was a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short gain.
3 yards left to grab here on 3rd down. And no press coverage here. They are backing off in the secondary. Wilson, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at the 20. That'll go as a 46-yard punt with a return of 7. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Tampa Bay first.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
They run again on 1st down. Martin. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Tackle made by Deshaun Shedd.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Mike Evans, the one he was looking for. And that'll make it 3rd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Offense in a little bit of a bind here. 9 yards to go on third down.
Ready, go, ready.
On third down, Winston. Complete, he finds Blake. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. The target that time was Vincent Jackson. That'll bring up second down.
As a general rule, receivers love the comeback route because it puts them right in the sight lines of the guy throwing the ball. But in this case, the defender saw it and were able to knock it away.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And Brake, the tight end's got it. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
First down, here's the run with Martin. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And it'll give the Bucs a first down.
Well, from the safety of our booth, I think it's okay after that run that I called still the name that maybe he's not too crazy about, the muscle hamster.
Yeah, his teammates at Boise State called him that. He doesn't like that, though.
He hates that name.
He told us he prefers, and he told the world he prefers Duggernuts.
It's always tough when you come up with your own nickname.
It doesn't stick.
I hope it works for him, but I have my doubts.
We're going muscle hamster here in the booth. And credit the tackle to Cliff Averill.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
One man on the backfield, that's Martin. Second down, Winston. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Bucs are going to add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
They go again with Rawls. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. The Pro Bowler Brent Grimes brings him down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Back now in Tampa. It's the Seahawks with possession of the football, but they do trail here to begin quarter number 4. So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. On 3rd down, Wilson looking deep downfield. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
This is taken at about the 14. Might have been one man away from 6 points. As it stands, it's a huge return. And this offense set up with a very short field. 1st and 10 inside the 20. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. One man in the backfield, that's Martin. Jameis to throw it. Complete to Myers, the tight end. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
Ready.
On 2nd down, Martin. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The play clock's running down. And Aguayo's kick is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now a play nowhere to escape, and he goes down. William Golston in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on. 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked up by Brad McDougal. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. So out come the Bucs now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Shift together here from the D-line. They run it again with Martin. And able to break And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's going to leave them with just one remaining here in this fourth quarter.
A good solid run there as we head towards the home stretch of this game.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now Sims. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. The 12 yards that time and picking up the first. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. One man on the backfield, that's Martin. He'll get the football here. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So the D-line's going to spread out. They run with Martin. He's been busy tonight. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. Third down, it's Doug Martin. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. But let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Roberto Aguayo out now for the Buccaneer field goal try. This just a 24-yard attempt. And Aguayo able to knock it through. And that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Roberto Aguayo following the made field goal, set now to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They have a little bit of time left here, but this one not going to go their way.
And this is where, in this situation for me, you just go ahead and run out the clock, shake hands, congratulations, and move on. Because now you're not going to make up for what's happened during the game in this last sequence.
We'll see what they do here in this last sequence. They go back to the air here after the INT. Finding time. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. The intended target, Doug Baldwin. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
But depending on the team, they call that an explosive play or a chunk play, the one that they got on the previous one. They tried to go back and get another one, didn't they?
They did, but unsuccessful on that 2nd attempt. Surveying the field. He's going to let... And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Brent Grimes. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Bucs are winners here as we say so long from Tampa.